I am live today because I want to do a walkthrough of Rabbit Trails Through Literature, Volume 3, brand new release, just came out a few days ago. I'm going to take just a second to refresh my page so I can get it shared into my group as well, and then we're going to get started. I am so excited to share this with you guys. I know that you guys have been really looking forward to seeing it, and you've been really looking forward to buying it. You guys were amazing at our launch party last week. It was insane how busy the group was. So if you don't know what a group I'm talking about, it is Relaxed Homeschoolers the Rabbit Trails Way. I can put a link down below for you guys when I am all done. But it is my little place on Facebook land, if you will. It's my little group over there, and it's just a great group of women. It is, there's never any drama over there. It is just a great place. We talk about rabbit trails, we talk about homeschooling, we talk about just, you know, being a homeschool mom, all that fun stuff. So if you guys want to hop on over there and join the group anytime, you are more than welcome. That's where I do like big launch parties. So they had an exclusive coupon code that they were able to use on the new releases. So anytime there's new releases, that is the place to be, and even in between, because that's where we're talking about what's coming up next. That's where, you know, that's where I'm most on, and that's where I'm most vocal and able to just hang out with you guys on the internet that way. So I hope you'll join me there. But let's dig in. Let's start looking at Rabbit Trails Through Literature, Volume 3. So obviously this is the third volume of Rabbit Trails Through Literature. There are two other ones, but these are not grade-specific curriculum. This is for all elementary children. So any elementary grade can use these together. So it is basically like a teacher manual. So the children will do all of the work in a notebook that you can get from Walmart or wherever. So you don't have to buy a workbook for them and a teacher manual, so it saves you some money there. And it also saves you money because you don't even have to print this if you don't want. You can print it at home if you choose. You can send it off to get beautiful print jobs done at like Family Nest Printing. I can put an affiliate link for you guys down below too, where you can get a little bit, I think it's like 5 or 10% off. I can't remember. I think it's 5%. But a little bit off of that because it is beautiful printed out. But you can pop this open on your phone. You can open this up on your computer. It doesn't even need printed if you don't want it to be printed, which will save you even more money. And you can use it with multiple kids. So if you have multiple elementary age children, you can use this all together with them and they can all work on their own level. So I'm going to show you inside of it. I'm going to show you the books. I'm going to tell you all the concepts that are involved in it. And let's get started. Alrighty, let me flip through this. I obviously have not had mine binded yet. It is still just loose copies. And so inside of it, there is a how to use this curriculum talking about how it's notebook styled. All of that, so you guys can take a look through that. And that's inside my sample as well. I included these first few pages so you can see the full table of contents. You can see how to use it so that it's not just the lesson. You're able to see all of that information as well to see if it's going to be for you. So the table of contents, it's 2 pages. So if it's, you know, in a binder, it'll be back to back like that. So it's going to tell you the concepts, and it's also going to tell you each and every book that we have that's a part of Volume 3. So all of these are beautiful chapter books. You can see them all there. I'll go through and I'll actually hold them up for you guys to see as well. But they're all beautiful chapter books. A lot of them are award-winning Caldecott winners and just books that have stood the test of time. Some of them are random books that I just found in my search where I really wanted to talk about a certain concept. And so it's a book that kind of follows that concept. So it's really fun going through and very time consuming going through and finding all of the books for you guys because I want them to be perfect. I want them to be, you know, worthy of being a main book of this curriculum. And so it is fun going through and finding exactly the right book to go with exactly the right concept. So let me flip over to my page here so I can read off the list to tell you exactly what grammar concepts and exactly what rabbit trails are with every single lesson. So let's start with the different concepts. So the different ones in Volume 3 are sentence types, adverbs, pronouns, idioms, fairy tales, concrete poetry, the dictionary, imagery, personification, commas, colons, plurals, letter writing, and there are 3 review lessons. So throughout the curriculum, you will have 3 opportunities to just review what you guys have covered. So it's just very simple. You can review it just by having a discussion. You can review it by maybe going back over and doing some of those activities that were a part of the lesson, whatever it is that you choose to do. It's very open-ended in how you choose to review it. And you can also do these lessons out of order, because since the review is very open-ended that way, you can just choose to review whatever you went over. It's not like the review stuff focuses specifically on a certain concept. It's just that is what's laid aside for those couple of weeks. It's just simply to go over those concepts. So if you want to do different things in different orders because some of the rabbit trails align with your history or with your science or something like that, do them out of order, because you can review whatever you want to review in those 3 review lessons. So the rabbit trail is the super exciting part, right? So that's the thing that's unique about literature, is that there's rabbit trails into different subjects, into different topics, and it just makes it a lot of fun to kind of combine those different subjects together. Where in the history and science, those rabbit trails are going to be more about those specific things. Where in literature, it's about stuff that's completely different and just bringing so much of that feast of knowledge, right, into this curriculum. So the different rabbit trails for Volume 3 are tea parties, Shakespeare, caterpillars, the water cycle, New York City, fairy tales, abstract art, the dictionary, bears, trains, the Cherokee, ducks, forecasting, world markets, World War II, and farms. Farms was a super sweet lesson. I really loved writing that one. So that is what you're going to see inside of Volume 3 as far as the actual content. But let me take you for a walk through the curriculum. Maybe you've never seen inside this curriculum before. This is your first time ever seeing rabbit trails and you're like, what does this even look like? So let's take a walk through so you guys can see inside a lesson. So Tea Party in the Woods is our first book. I'll still do a flip through of all the books for you guys. It's our first book, and it's what is up for the sample lesson as well on my website. So you guys can take a closer look at this through the sample lesson as well. So in a rabbit trails lesson, the first thing you're going to have is a page that has the actual lesson and also has copywork. So in the lesson, we're talking about sentence types here. And so it's just going to tell you what the different sentence types are. It's going to explain it to you. It's going to encourage you to point those out in Tea Party in the Woods, because it does show each of those sentence types inside of the book. So it's a way to tie the main book into the lesson, because when we are using these main books, guys, when we have these, this is a hands-on practical application of these different concepts. It's a real-world way for your kids to learn different language arts concepts. When they're in a notebook, or not a notebook, like a workbook, a curriculum workbook, that's not really real-world application. That is canned responses inside of a workbook. But when they are using real literature to find those, they're able to then find those in other pieces of literature. It makes it real to them, and it makes it just that real-world application to where it's like, hey, this isn't a book that really has nothing to do with the rest of this, right? That's not why they wrote this book. This isn't a book about sentence types. This is a beautiful piece of literature that has different sentence types in it. So it's just a whole new way of learning and a way for your kids to really grasp those concepts in a really neat way. So next is the copywork. There's always 2 pieces of copywork. One is usually a quote from the book, and then the other one is a Bible verse. And then underneath the Bible verse, we also include a little Bible lesson to go along with it, to really kind of tie the book in with that Bible lesson and have an extra little just sweet lesson and way for your kids to maybe learn apologetics, or maybe just to strengthen their relationship with the Lord, maybe strengthen your relationship as a family. So there's really, really sweet Bible lessons at the bottom of those pages that tie in that copywork verse for you. The next page is called Some Fun. And so it's always some little activity. So of course, Tea Party in the Woods, we want you to have a tea party. You can't go through your homeschool without having at least one poetry tea time, okay? Because it is such a sweet part of the day with your kids. My boys even love poetry tea time. So whether you actually read poetry, whether you are just reading your storybook and you're reading Tea Party in the Woods while having a tea party, whatever it is such a delight to have tea parties with your kids. And so sometimes these are crafts, sometimes these are activities like this, sometimes these are writing assignments. So it'll tell you exactly what you need to do, and it'll tell you any supplies that you need here on the Some Fun page. backside of this, next up we have the rabbit trails page. So this is where we're going to start diving into those other topics. And so we are in this lesson, we're talking about tea parties, and not just tea parties, but tea parties around the world. So there's a book about the Queen and having tea with the Queen. There's a book, Tea Time with Emma Buttersnap. There's always a video, so a way to go onto YouTube and find a video. And this is about Japanese tea ceremony. That's something that I've actually been able to do in real life, is be a part of a Japanese tea ceremony in Japan and have them serve me green tea and little tea treats and everything. So it's a really, it's part of their customs. And so it's a really neat way for your kids to see another culture as well. And then there's some tea party rules, a Chinese tea book about tea in China, and tea time around the world that you guys can explore as well. And then on the back side, so that's all library lists, by the way. So those are just extra books, extra fun you can add in. You don't have to read all of these books. If you're looking at this and saying 6 books in one lesson, that is too much for me. That's fine. They're just suggestions. The only book that you need is the main book. And you don't even need to buy it. Grab it from your library. Buy it used, however you want to do it. I have an Amazon shop where I have them all on there for you if you want to buy them all new. It's super easy to just click and buy. But make it easy, make it inexpensive. See if your library has them, whatever works for you. So add as many of the Rabbit Trails books and library list books as you want to your lessons. And then finally, there's more ideas, and that's exactly what it is. It is more ideas to go even further into the language arts concept, to go even further into that rabbit trails. There are hands-on ideas, there are writing assignments, there is experiments, there's all kinds of fun stuff in here. And so it's just a whole page of more ideas to make it even more fun for your homeschool. And so each of these lessons is designed to take 2 weeks. So you can spread it out however you want. They're meant to be short lessons. They are not meant to be super overwhelming. We use it in more of a block style. So instead of taking just a little bit for over 10 days, we do more like 6 days and do a little bit more in those 6 days. So it just makes it a little bit easier in our home with our schedule. So you can make it work however you want. I have a sample schedule up on my website, so you can take a look and see how you could lay it out over the course of 2 weeks. But I don't have a schedule inside of the curriculum that says, day 1, you must do this. Day 2, you must do this. Because you're going to do it however you want to do it in your own homeschool. You're going to make it work exactly how you need it to work in your homeschool. So you can see a sample of how it might work, but take all these concepts, throw it into your planner however you want, and have it go over 2 weeks. This curriculum is written for, I just saw a question, it's written for all elementary ages. So anyone in elementary school can use this together. And I explained that at the beginning of the video as well. If you want to do a replay to catch anything that you've missed too. But all elementary ages, so it's not an actual grade level. You can do it with a 1st grader and a 5th grader and have it work at both of their levels. Okay, now it's time for the books, guys. That's the most amazing part of this curriculum, and what really makes it shine is the books. So let's go through all of the 16 books that go with this curriculum. So first up, like I've already showed you, is Tea Party in the Woods. The Z Was Zapped. Inch by Inch. Raining Cats and Dogs. The Little Red Lighthouse and the Great Gray Bridge. Cinderella. Wet Cement. The Fantastic Flying Books of Mr. Morris Lesmore. A Story for Bear. Locomotive. The First Strawberries. Make Way for Duckling. A Pair of Red Clogs. On Market Street. Write to Me. And last but not least, The 100-Year Barn. So those are the 16 main books that go with the curriculum. Like I said, those are the only required books that you have to read. If you have another book on farms that you want to use, it's not in the curriculum, use it. If you find some from the library that aren't in the curriculum, use it instead. No big deal, no pressure. Those are just suggestions to kind of do the work for you. So you can look up those books from your library, you can add them to your used book cart, however it is you want to get them into your hands. Just let us do the work for you, essentially. So that is it. Like I said, when I am all finished, I will put everything down in the comments. You guys can have a link to the group. I will put a link to the actual volume 3 page I have on my website so you can see everything on there again. I will also put a link to my Amazon shop as well so that you guys can see all the books on my Amazon shop too. But the lesson sample, everything that you need is on the webpage, so you can look through all of it and see inside volume 3 for yourself. But I thank you guys so much for joining me, and I'm so excited to get volume 3 into your hands. I'll talk to you guys later.